Oh man, this thing climbs like crazy. And we're back, and we're going to discuss my VRD Carbon build from Vanquish Products. It's a new truck that they just released recently, and I decided I wanted to pick one up. I have a Phoenix. I have the Vanquish Fordyce that I'm doing a custom project on. And when this was released, I really just wanted to pick it up. It sold out extremely fast. I was able to get one. And we're just going to go over my general build. I'm not going to get in it too in-depth about, because I'm not a comp crawler guy. I've never comped before. I've wanted one of these trucks, but putting them together from bits and pieces and buying all the extra axles and stuff is very expensive. And now that Axial has come out with the SCX10 Pro a while back, and now Vanquish has the VRD Carbon, and even Red Cat has just recently come out with the Ready to Run version of the comp crawler, that'll get people into comping super easy. You don't have to comp crawl for this, but this could get you into it if you wanted to. So it's a lot cheaper than buying just chassis rails from somebody and links from some other person and axles from somebody else. This is going to get you into that scene a lot cheaper. So that's why I picked this up. I wanted something that would do crazy lines. I'm not looking for something that goes fast. I don't need it to have 2-speed. I have other rigs for that. This one I wanted to do straight up rock crawling, and that's what this is for. So I'm just going to go over what I put on mine. They may be for you. A lot of people are going to use something different. So we'll start out with the body. I did the Proline Coyote body. It fits perfect on this truck. It tucks right into the front and rear bumper perfectly. I actually notched my body out to sit inside of the bumpers, front and rear. This gives you a little bit of more rigidity instead of letting the body sit on top. I got it as low as I could possibly get it without hacking it up too much. You could go lower if you needed to, but it looks pretty good. We did a pretty simple little paint job on it. We just went with Spastics Paints Gunmetal, which is becoming one of my favorite colors. And then we did a flat black on the outside. So we painted the black on the outside and just kind of detailed it a little bit. I knew this truck was going to get used and scratched up big time, so I didn't want to go too crazy on the paint, where I spent hours and hours of masking it out just to scratch it the first run. So I decided to go with the J Concepts Megalithic tires. I know they've been kind of hard to get right now, so I picked up a set of these to run. They're supposed to be super sticky, and so far the results on them from other videos have been pretty good. The foams might need a little 2-stage foam in them, I'm thinking, after the first run. We also did some Vanquish KMC tanks when we did the gray, and the gray matches the gunmetal on the body perfectly. I actually really like that. I actually bought these wheels for a different project, and they work perfect on this one, because KMC tanks are a little bit wider than I needed for my other project, which I didn't know. We have 475 SLW hubs, and I didn't do any scaled hardware. I just did what came with them. So we'll pop the body off here, and we'll go over. So here's the just general chassis. If you don't know anything about it, it's a portal axle truck. Carbon fiber rails. Transmission has overdrive already set in it, so between the axle and the lightweight gears inside here that are machined, it sets that. I can't remember the exact overdrive that it has. It's like 30 something percent. I'm off there, so probably check another video for that one. So I decided to go with the Reefs Smart 900. I wanted something super powerful. The servo is mega powerful, more than most people would need. We also went with the Hobbywing Quick Run Fusion Pro, which is a 2300 brushless motor, 2-in-1, so the ESC and everything is built into one. I like the simplicity of the wiring. We went with that. We also went with the VR1 and the VRT. I think that's what this is called. I just did the Vanquish products. Thought I would try out the radio system. 3D printed a Harley Designs wheel so I could one-hand drive it if I need to, or it works like this. You can get those off his website if you have this radio. Actually works really well. This is a 4-channel radio system. It comes with their Phoenix ready to run and their Fordyce ready to run. Seems to be pretty good. The only thing I had an issue with is the throttle throw, or the reverse throw, is very, very short. And so it makes this truck extremely jumpy in reverse, which I'm sure it's that way with everything that it's in, because it moves a lot less than some of the other remotes I have. So I had to turn down the reverse on the motor ESC so that it wasn't so jumpy and flying in reverse. Anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about. I have these short little packs that fit in here. You can see how much further forward they are than the slider. The sliders are made to you can put your packs here and your electronics on the side if you want. This little tray here, you can either 1, put your electronics on it, or 2, mount these little short packs. These packs work perfectly here. It goes very far forward, puts the weight more forward, also is offset from the motor. And with the ESC and stuff over here, the balance on the truck it's almost perfect. So everything is very close to the middle and balanced. You don't have a lot of weight, sitting out on the side of the slider. So that's how I set that up. So these are a Genza's Tattu. So it's a 1375C 3S pack, which is all that the motor ESC will handle. And let's see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it on the build. Oh, we got to go over. So I did portal axle knuckle weights, and I did the very heavy ones because I already had them for my Phoenix. I was going to put them on my Phoenix, and then these are the ones that come with the kit. They're a low offset and a little bit lighter weight than the regular brass low offset. These are heavy offset. Most people in the original people that were talking about this were doing these with internal rings in the wheels, brass rings just up front. So I thought, well, I have these heavyweight ones, so I'll take these, put those on my Phoenix, and I'll put the heavy weights here and skip the rings. So that's what I've done, and it feels pretty good. Drove really well today, so I think that kind of works. Yeah, and that's it. So we're going to throw in some running footage here and there of me just, hitting a few lines today. Wasn't able to get a ton. The filming was kind of hit or miss because I was trying to drive a truck fresh, one-handed. I'm not a pro at the one-handed driving. And yeah, so far, very impressed. We will do a lot more videos on this truck, hitting some better lines and stuff. And okay, guys, the only thing I want to throw in here at the end of the video is I did have a breakage, but I'd like to say the breakage was nothing to do with the kit. The breakage was a Reefs servo horn. Now I had the Reef servo, I had the servo washers. I thought I'm going to go all Reefs, so I used this servo horn that they sell. It's aluminum clamping servo horn. That thing snapped like no tomorrow. Kind of ended my run a little bit short. You can see this thing got wedged up into a rock that I was trying to do a climb, kind of fell back, and I didn't realize that it was jammed up with a rock smashed into the tie rod right here. And when I wiggled it, this servo is so powerful, it snapped that thing like no problem. So I just put the Vanquish centered servo horn back on there. You can see it bent the tie rod. I actually bent it back a little bit more. It was worse than that. The stainless steel tie rod. That's no problem. I think I will order a Vanquish link that is the same length in titanium. I'll probably eliminate that bending, which might break rod ends now, but maybe that's the way I'll go. But for now, it still works. All I had to do is change out the servo horn. Okay guys, we're going to give the VRD Carbon a run. This will be its first run on the rocks. I have a neighbor here that has a pretty cool rock pile that I've messed with my Phoenix before. And my Phoenix really struggled here. I think this truck's going to do really well. The truck is set up basically box stock. I didn't do anything different except for I have put on the heavyweight brass knuckle weights, the big heavy ones. Let's see how this thing does on the rocks. We're going to try a few lines here and see what we can come up with. So this line that I'm trying here is something I tried with the Phoenix a couple weeks ago, and it really struggled to get around this corner. This thing is having no problems. Made it without even there we go, a little adjustment. Didn't quite get the line the way I wanted it to. I needed to be higher up on the rock over there. Roll wide and turn into this one. I got to turn the reverse sensitivity down on this thing. It is kind of crazy. Oh, it floated right over there, no problem. These megalithics are not really broke in or anything yet, so they could use to be scrubbed in a little bit more, but it's doing pretty good. I will say the reverse is really jumpy on this setup. So let's try bringing it over closer this way. Not gonna do it. Get that rear tire to come down. There we go. Maybe that'll work. We're gonna have to bump it here. It's pretty hard to oh, the reverse on this is horrible. Okay, so so far it's doing pretty good. It's hard to drive one-handed and reverse is really jumpy, so I'm gonna have to adjust that. That's a speed controller issue. But truck climbs extremely well. I mean, that's... So there was a line that they were doing over here with their robot cars. Well, Capra and like a Sporty. They're trying to climb, get up this gap. Too far that way. Get past the bumper, so we got it the hook there. Oh, yeah, that did that. Well, it wasn't even hard to go up. Now they were doing that with their sporties, like custom-made sporty-ish cars. They do pretty good, but I'd have to say for what this rig is set up to do, just that was like a no problem right there. The only problem I've had with it so far is you could use maybe a little weight on the rear if you're running lines that are a lot, sorry, get my camera adjusted here, that are a lot downhill, because it wants to pop the rear end forward and roll. I'm sure there's other ways to counteract that. Speed controller issue. Maybe that's the line. There we go. There we go. That was it. So we're going to see if we can go up and down. Get a little better vision on the camera here. Oh, geez, with the reverse. Gonna have to oh, and we made it. Don't think I got a good film on that. Haha. Let's try a different line here. So far the only thing I need to do is I need to adjust the speed controller. The truck is doing excellent, but the speed controller's reverse is crazy. And I'm driving one-handed trying to film, which is not my specialty. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, we're gonna make it. No. Oh. There we go. We're filming a second. Oh man, this thing climbs like crazy. Oh my goodness.